Alright, hey, what is up guys? It's me, Eddie, and I am back with another episode of Katawa Shoujo. Okay. So, as I think it has been established, we are on the Amy route. Oh boy. Okay. So, this is episode 6. Let me check volume really fast. Just give me a second. Yeah, everything looks alright. Cool. With all that out of the way, let's get started, shall we? Alright. A night of restlessness has left me feeling fairly groggy this morning. The events of the previous day keep intruding upon my mind. It has been a while. What happened yesterday? I see how it is. Okay. The memory of how Amy felt against me. The memory of a wrestling match. And most bothersome, the memory of her nightmare. She was in so much pain. I can't stop wondering what it must be like for her to wake up with nobody there. The shower mocks me awake with hot water. Awake, but still worried. What will happen today? Will things just go back to normal? Into the episode, back to the status quo. There was a connection yesterday. Something that nearly pushed us past the boundaries of normal friendship. Would that have been so bad? My mind goes back to the look in Amy's eyes after a pillow fight. It almost seemed like she was daring me to go on. Almost. But I can't know for sure. Anyway, the track captain's probably first in her affections. But even as I say that, my mind is already snorting derisively. I'm just looking for an excuse. A reason for everything to go wrong. A reason not to try. It's not as if I've seen the two of them together outside of track practice. And he's clearly never visited. Amy said as much herself. If they were close, surely he'd visit. I'm such a wuss. I ought to just go for it anyway. Damn the consequences. That's what Amy would do. Hell, I know that's what she would do. Which is partially why I'm convinced there's no interest on her end. She hasn't acted either. Maybe it's because of the track captain. Possibly she's got a bit of an unrequited crush thing going on. Who will be able to clarify their relationship? It sure as hell can't be Amy. She'd probably just laugh and ask me why I wanted to know. And I'm not ready to answer that yet. Rin would probably give me some cryptic answer or something. And then with my luck, she'd just ask Amy, who'd ask me why I'd want to know, and I've already covered that problem. I wonder... Could I get away with asking the nurse? He seemed pretty protective of Amy. I'm sure he'd know if something was up, and he owes me for not letting Amy know he forgot to tell me about her being ill, so he'll keep quiet. What if he asked me why I want to know, though? I could shake him off. Just say I'm curious as a friend. He'll buy that, won't he? Of course! That's settled, then. After the run, I'll talk to him while Amy's waiting outside the office. There's no sign of Amy when I arrive at the track. Is she still too ill? So I decided to give her 10 minutes. I'm a little early, and she was ill yesterday, so if she takes a while to show up, it shouldn't be surprising. Still, I hate to waste my time, so I occupy myself by stretching and pacing back and forth anxiously. What if we went too far yesterday? What if she doesn't come back because she's embarrassed? What if... You're early again, Hisao. I'm impressed. Just like that, I feel some of the tension leaving my body. Amy seems to be bright and cheerful as usual, with no sign that she was ill the other day, much less had a less than restful sleep. Still, I have to ask, sleep well last night? It's just a throwaway question. Small talk. Sort of thing people ask when they bump into the cafe while getting their morning coffee. Not for us. At least, not for me. I don't know if Amy realizes I'm actually concerned about how well she slept last night, but the question does give her pause. After a short moment of what seems like her genuinely pondering this, she nods. Yep, sure did. Was it because of me? Did I actually help? Or are you just saying that to get me to stop asking questions? Good to hear. Amy grins and begins warming up. So, ready to begin? Am I ready? Of course I'm ready. I was born ready. Amy laughs at my bravado, and we take off running. I keep a steady pace the whole time, breathing steady. still feel dead at the end, but at least I don't gasp like a fish out of water now. Amy is positively beaming after the run today. Nice job, Hisao. You're improving. You'll be half as fast as me in no time. That last line is delivered with a teasing grin that I've grown all too used to. Oh, how exciting. Amy begins to run her sprints, while I take a cool down lap. She's really pushing herself today. By the time I'm done with my lap, she's laying across one of the bleachers, looking exhausted. Goodness, not pushing it a little too much today, are you? You did just have a cold, you'll recall. Amy gives an annoyed snort and sits up. Bah, I'm just trying to make up for lost time, that's all. I went twice as hard today, you know? A good run always gets the kinks out, you know? Clears the mind, too. Oh? Amy nods vigorously. Yep, it's a great outlet for that sort of thing. She does not explain further, and I don't ask. I suspect I know the real reason she went so hard today. Being sick had nothing to do with it. Something's bothering her. Maybe the nightmare, maybe something else. It's not my place to pry. She'd tell me if she wanted to know. If she wanted me to know. I'm sure that comes in handy. You have no idea. The sincerity in her voice confirms my suspicion. The only problem is, even though I know she'd tell me if she wanted to know, I still want to know. Something on your mind, then? Amy doesn't seem surprised by my question. Instead, she shrugs. Nah, it's not worth getting worried about. She senses she's trying to convince herself as much as she's convincing me. I open my mouth to ask if yesterday is responsible for her current state of mind, but think better of it. Too much risk of her taking the question the wrong way. Besides, I'm not even sure myself what to think of yesterday. Really, I can only get about as far as how it felt to have Amy sleeping next to me before my brain shuts down. Having her before me now, covered in sweat and looking wryly at me, she's making it difficult to think. Yeah, I hear you. You better hurry to see the nurse. We're running short on time. Aren't we always? Amy laughs at this, a dry chuckle that seems most un-Amy-like. Too true. For a brief moment, she looks old, worn down by some old hurt. But just like yesterday, I could almost see her shouldering the burden and straightening up slightly, and then she's back to being Amy again. Come on then, Hisao, race ya! With a sudden smile, she darts off. Hey, no fair! I take off after her, knowing I won't catch her, but not caring. Even if there's no chance of catching her, I'll still run after her. Amy's waiting for me at the door as I arrive. Well, well, look who's finally shown up. Yeah. Enjoy your victory while you can. Amy grins as the nurse pokes his head out the door. Well, there you are. Come in, Hisao. In what has become a familiar routine by now, he checks my blood pressure and my heart rate. A bit fast today, isn't it? Yeah, I kinda raced Amy here. The nurse laughs. That's never a good idea. He leans in to whisper to me in a conspiratory manner. I don't know if you heard, but Amy's a bit of a track star. I reel back in mock surprise. Really? She never mentioned it before. The two of us share a laugh. Did she do okay today? Cold seemed to bother her? Why don't you ask her? Why don't you ask her? He rolls his eyes with exasperation. Of course I'm gonna ask her, but she'll tell me that she didn't have any problems, regardless of whether or not she did. So I'm asking you because you're a friend, and would probably tell me if she had any trouble today. When he puts it that way, it makes a lot more sense. She seemed pretty good today, a little more tired than usual. She's already feeling better when I dropped by yesterday, so I'm not that surprised. The nurse nods, though I notice he tenses slightly when I mentioned yesterday's visit. Well, that's good to hear. I figured it was just a 24-hour thing. Amy tends to recover quickly from colds and the like. Hey, speaking of Amy, are she and the track captain, well, you know. A look of suspicion crosses his face. Why do you ask? Well, it's just that they seem kind of close, and I was just curious, you know? I'd never ask her because that would be kind of embarrassing. So far so good, now to really sell it. Besides, I think they make a cute couple. The nurse laughs. Well, I don't suppose you're the first to think that. But I think I could say, with some certainty, the two of them will never do anything like that. Certainty? Yep. Not that I can tell you, of course. Confidentiality and all that. Yeah, right. You just like holding a secret over my head. That too. Right, get out of here. I'm a busy man, you know. I roll my eyes at his last statement and head out the door, motioning to Amy to go in. The whole time, I'm trying to keep from doing a celebratory dance. The two of them will never do anything like that! That's precisely the sort of thing I wanted to hear. I'm half tempted to make a move on Amy right now, but I think the nurse will probably disapprove. Besides, I still don't know exactly how Amy feels about me. I mean, it's obvious that she cares about me as a friend, but something more than that, I can't be certain. Even so, I can't help but feel hopeful. I just need to figure out a good time to tell Amy exactly how I feel. That puzzle should keep me occupied for the rest of the day, at least. The rooftop is completely deserted. Normally, I could count on Rin to be up here before me, but she's strangely absent. Oh, peculiar. I wonder if she decided to accompany Amy to the cafeteria for once. That seems pretty unlikely, but it's all I can think of right now. Part of me wants to go look for Rin, but a far part of me is too pleased with the way the sun feels on my skin to care. Make sure not to get a sunburn. Those are painful. I pick idly at my lunch while I wait for Amy and Rin to show up. It does not take long for me to hear the sound of someone coming up the stairs. I wait until the door begins to open before talking. Took you long enough. Keeping me waiting for you, honestly. The two of you are... Huh? Well, that's odd. The only person standing in the doorway is Amy. He looks mildly confused. What did you mean, huh? It's me, you know. Amy, we run in the mornings. She grins and I feel my heart jump slightly in my chest at the sight. Yes, I know that. I'm just confused. Where's Rin? Amy's grin is replaced by a rather guilty-looking expression. Yeah, about that. I kind of, sort of, gave her my cold. Oh, dear. Am I at risk, too? It would make sense, after all. Amy and I were in close contact the other day. So what did she and Rin do that got her ill? Amy, you silly goose. Dot, dot, dot. Steady on, old lad. Don't go down that road. Rin's just probably got a worse immune system than me. Amy seems shocked by my comment. Like she hadn't considered that before. I hope not. Aw, she's so adorable. I'll feel terrible if you get ill because of me, Hisao. Oh man, I think I feel a fever coming on. Amy looks horrified, then quickly shifts into a more angry expression. Hisao, you stop getting sick this instant. This instant, I won't have it. Impulsively, she seizes me by the collar. Are you listening to me, Hisao's immune system? Get your ass in gear. I give a smart salute. Duly noted, ma'am. Amy steps back and nods, satisfied. Good. You were not allowed to miss any of her morning runs after all. But you missed a morning run. Amy crosses her arms and looks at me haughtily. Yes, but that's a special case. It was me and not you. Rules for thee, but not for me. It's not an explanation at all. Amy looks flabbergasted. You're kidding, right? That explanation makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. It's a blatant double standard. I don't see what that has to do with anything. No, fine. Amy seems pleased by her victory. Anyways, is Rin gonna be okay? She's not terribly ill, right? Amy shakes her head. Nope, she'll be fine. I got her some cold medicine that should help her. Though I probably should have made sure she didn't try to take all of them at once. She's done it before, you know. Somehow, I don't find this all that surprising. God, Rin is so fucking based. I doubt Rin is the one to pay attention to maximum dosages and such. I should probably check in on her later, then, just to be sure. Should I make the Rin route next, or should I go for the Hanako route after Amy? Because Hanako is, like, kind of the girl that's, like, sort of... Hanako's honestly the sort of girl that catches my attention the most. Her and Amy, but Rin is... I'm really warming up to Rin. Like, Rin is just... She is so based. God damn, I aspire to be that unhinged. Amy shrugs. I'll stop by after practice. She'll be fine until then. And nod, figuring that line of conversation is over. The only problem is... Sorry. I don't know what else to talk about. So... Got any more track meets coming up? This is a terribly roundabout way to see if she's free on the weekend. If she's free, then maybe I could ask her on a date or something. Well, assuming I could actually get myself to form the words. Amy shakes her head. Not for another couple of weeks, I think. The season's winding down. Oh yeah, I came right in the middle of things, didn't I? Does that mean exams are coming up? I should probably look into that. What do you do on weekends if there's not a meet? An eyebrow goes up and Amy gets a teasing look on her face. You're awfully inquisitive today, aren't you? I shrug and hope it looks casual. Just making conversation. I don't know what it's like to be the track star, after all. Flattery. She waves a hand idly. I'm not actually that good, you know. You just so happen to see me on a good day, is all. You liar. Yeah. But humility is a sign of a good athlete. At least, that's what my dad used to say. She shrugs and sighs to unsuccessfully hide the rather troubled expression her face has taken on. Hey, what's up? You seem bothered by something. Amy starts to deny it, then sighs in defeat. I wonder if she's too tired from being sick to get herself to deny it like usual. Too tired from being sick to get herself to deny it like usual. Or she actually just trusts me enough at this point to open up. Well, do you remember last night? Do I ever? I settle for nodding, however. That's not the first time that's happened to me. Actually, I get them kind of... She pauses, as if it suddenly occurred to her what she's doing. It's almost like she's breaking some sort of personal rule here. She starts again, up again, choosing her words carefully. Well, not often, but... on occasion. It's just been one of those weeks where that's what happens. Sigh escapes her, and she looks terribly frustrated. I reach over and give her a hug, which, unlike last time, doesn't seem to shock her. Instead, she seems to relax as my arms wrap around her. Stay that way for a while. Hey, you know I was serious last night. You really can't talk to me if stuff like that is bothering you. It's always difficult to do this sort of thing solo, you know? Amy smiles and breaks the embrace, but stays leaning on my shoulder. Thanks, Hisao. I'll be fine, I think. I can already see her reassembling herself, getting ready to bottle it all up again. Guess that topic's closed now. So hey, any more thoughts to that career survey? Can't say I have. I don't tend to plan very far ahead, you know. Although I suppose I could at least start looking into college, huh? I shrug. I suppose unless you're serious about that pirate thing. Last I checked, pirates don't have much need for universities. Unless there's like a pirate university out there somewhere. Amy giggles and starts to look a little like her old self, but there's a new element to her expression. Impish. That's how I describe it. Amy looks impish, looking up at me with her head nestled into my shoulder. Would you come with me if I ran off to be a pirate? Of course I would! Who in their right mind would pass up the opportunity to be pirates with you? Oh, when you put it that way, I'm not sure. She giggles again. I notice that my heart seems to have sped up. It's probably due to Amy's proximity to me. That hint of strawberries again. I can't help but I grin as I gaze down on her. She's happy again. Hey, Hisao. If you're gonna kiss me, you should probably do it soon. Dang! I think the lunch bell is about to ring. My thoughts grind to a sudden halt. I'm pretty sure my mouth is hanging open in shock. All I can manage is a strangled... Huh? This amuses Amy even more. You were thinking about it, weren't you? She sits up, revealing her face, bringing her face level with mine. I'd probably enjoy it, you know. You're a really... Well... She briefly composes herself, looking like she's about to say something important. Wow! 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 That went from 1 to 100 really quick. Just out of nowhere, out of the blue like that. Wow. Wow. If you hadn't figured it out by now, I think I've developed a bit of a crush on you. You're going to have to do something about that. Dang. This time her grin short-circuits several important thought process. That really came out of the blue. At some point, I turned towards her, and at another point, her arms moved to around my neck. And yet another, my arms were wrapped around her waist. I'd be damned if I could tell precisely when that happened. Because at the moment, there's only a voice in the back of my head telling me to kiss her. Holy shit! Okay! I look into Amy's eyes. There it is. Thing I saw yesterday on the bed. It's there again. It suddenly strikes me that she's worried I'll reject her. What a silly worry for her to have. Whoa! Her lips taste faintly of strawberries. She leans into the kiss, her arms tighten around the back of my head, making sure that I don't pull away. Not that there was any danger of that. There's a churning feeling in my gut. The world falls away. There's me, her, and this bench. My arms tighten, drawing her waist closer, entranced by the feel of her. I inhale her scent, my mind desperately trying to memorize everything about how she tastes, how she smells, how she feels. Oh, goddammit! Cock-blocked by the bell. Well, partially. You got most of it in. You got it in. The ringing of the bell snaps us both back to reality, and we break the kiss. Well, there we have it, folks! It happened. To my knowledge, it goes even further than this, actually. Amy's cheeks are slightly flushed, and she seems to be catching her breath. In her defense, so am I. We stand there for a few minutes, trying to wrap our heads around what we've just done. Amy is the first to break the silence. So, want to grab dinner after I'm done with practice? What a coincidence. I was about to ask you the same thing. Well, actually, I suppose it was going to be some kind of proper date on the weekend or something, but the thought was there, I think. Amy gives me a playful shove. Yeah, right. You're still in shock from how incredibly awesome I am at kissing. We begin to head down the stairs to our respective classrooms. Hey, I didn't see you talking immediately afterwards either. That I didn't. See you after practice, Hisao. She leans in quickly and gives me a quick kiss in the middle of the hallway, sending me into another brief state of mental freefall. As I head into my classroom, a giggling Misha greets me. Why, Hichan, you romantic, you? Did you confess on the rooftop? Did you? Or actually, I think it was the other way around. Yeah, she got really blindsided you there. This sends Misha into a fresh fit of laughter. Young love is so unpredictable, isn't it? This being Misha, I suppose I should have expected her to tease me over this. I guess. Before I could really respond, Muto's entered the room and Misha skips off to her seat, giggling all the while. I suspect that I'll get a lot of that sort of conversation now, especially seeing how Amy kissed me right in the middle of the hall. I wonder how many people saw that. Somehow, I don't care about that. For the first time since arriving here, my heart feels light. Act 3. Perspective. Oh! You know, normally this would be a very good place to leave off, but how long have I been streaming? 23 minutes? 23 minutes. That's no proper time to end. My head's a... I've had videos longer than this. My head's in a spin all through Muto's class. I'm gonna have dinner with Amy, who wants to be my girlfriend, no less. A date, and then she kissed me. That kiss. I keep going back to it, playing it over in my mind again and again. Everything about that moment felt so right. Mind drifts off, lost in thoughts of Amy. Knock-eye, hello. Seems I've drifted a bit too far. Huh, what? Egad, you've contracted some kind of amnesia. Someone get the nurse. The class chuckles at Muto's antics. Sorry, sir. Won't happen again and all that, right? Exactly. Muto brightens considerably. Well, lovely to hear. I'd hate to have my star pupil slacking off after all. I've been doing well, but I hardly qualify as a star pupil, I think. I'm fairly certain that this class is the sort of thing... that everyone does well in. It's just memorizing formula. I forget, this is a science class, right? True to my word, I managed to pay attention for the rest of the class. Nuck-Eye, may I have a word with you? I'm wondering if I'm in trouble for earlier. Sure. Am I in trouble? Muto looks genuinely confused for a moment. Beg your pardon? Tilts set to one side and thinks for a moment. Oh, no, you're not in any sort of trouble. There's just a question I want to ask you. What's that? Nothing terrible. I was just wondering what your plans for after graduation are. Are you going to university? Yeah, I guess. Can't really see a reason not to go. Given any thought as to what you'll study? Not really, no. I figure I'll come up with something when I get there. Muto laughs. Taking things as they come, eh? I'd argue against it, but that's how I did things when I went to university. Well, not really. I knew I'd go into science, I just wasn't sure which one. Ended up with physics, but could have well gone for astronomy or what have you. Actually, I did go for chemistry first, but there were all sorts of things. Muto trails off, then frowns slightly. It takes a minute for him to recover his train of thought, and I wait patiently for him to continue. So anyway, I did a lot of physics as well because I had an interest in that, but I wasn't sure if it was for me. So I went back to chemistry, and here we are. Yes? Smiles at me enthusiastically, if waiting for me to confirm that yes, here is where we are. Sometimes I had a feeling that Muto had a plan for this conversation, but I'll be damned if I can figure it out. Sorry, I'm not following you. Muto frowns and rubs his chin a bit, looking a bit perplexed. He snaps his fingers as if he's remembered what the point of all this was. Right, yes, you! Me? Yes, you should look into studying one of the sciences. You're fantastic at it. Unless you'd rather just go into math. Oh, really? Is Nakai good at... That's cool. Okay. Muto makes a sour face. Not a big fan of straight math. I've always liked to experiment more than the proofs. Saying I should study science at university? That's not a bad idea. Muto seems thrown off balance by my question. Well, sort of. You could also join the science club. Trouble is, there's not actually a science club. But there could be. You could even be a charter member. A founding father. Of course, you need to find other members. Oh, only if you wanted to. We could just start up with the two of us. And, I can give you things to read and we can talk about it. Oh, that sounds fun. There, and I can help you get ready for university and such as well. Wait. Muto runs around in his briefcase and tosses me a book. Muto, what's up with this? Read that. It's interesting, then we can talk about it. A brief history of time. Ooh, that sounds fun. I don't know if I actually want to read this, but Muto seems pretty excited about it. What's it about? Time, space, space-time, black hole. Bro, I love that stuff. The only reason I haven't gone to science is because I'm not really that good at math, but dang. I'm more of a history guy these days, but this is where I started out, folks. Like, before I was a history nerd, I was, like, super big on, like, quantum physics and stuff, space-time. I love this shit. It's not that dense. Just see if this is the sort of thing that's interesting for you. You understand? Damn, that stuff is so badass. Hang around after class and we can discuss it, or I can show you how to make explosives in the lab. Whoa! Explosions! He waves a hand at my quizzical expression. Joking, sorry. Aw. Still, I've kept you here long enough for now. Think about science as a career path, Nakai. I think you'd enjoy it. Okay, I will. Thank you for the book. I hear the classroom and look up at the clock. Quite a chunk of time to kill until Amy's out of practice. Guess I'll give this book a look. I should probably shower as well. Showering before a date's only proper, right? I head back to the dorms. I wonder where I'm supposed to meet Amy anyway. She said after practice, but she didn't say where I should find her. Guess I should just swing by the track. That's probably best anyway. If she needs a shower, I could wait in her room or something. Or in the hallway, I guess. That would be better as well. I take a quick shower, remembering medication once I hop out. Now for a look at this book. What? What about the date? What? I wake up with the start. Shit, what time is it? A glance at the clock reveals that I've been asleep for nearly an hour. Thank goodness. Amy's practice... Oh! So it's just when he goes to bed. Okay. Amy's practice should be finishing up soon. I throw on some casual clothes and head for the track. Somehow, I get the feeling you won't be doing anything fancy for dinner. Amy doesn't strike me as a very fancy sort of person. Still, I suppose there's a lot I've yet to know about Amy. Hey, more to people than meets the eye. Despite our newfound closeness, I still feel like I don't know her as well as I should. Ah well, I have lots of time to fix that. To be honest, I'm looking forward to getting to know her more. I'm so caught up in my own thoughts that I hardly register that I'm already at the track. Ah yes, just when you walk around autopilot. Amy is nowhere to be found. I don't even see any signs of the track team. This could be embarrassing. I turn to head towards the girls' dormitory when I hear a shout. Hey, Hiso! Whoa! Whoa! Okay, whoa! Turn around to see Amy making a beeline for me with a gym bag slung over. Dang, different outfit. That's crazy. She's changed into decidedly more casual clothing. A pair of shorts and an olive green top. Wow. Running blades have been replaced by some more realistic looking legs that probably wouldn't fool anyone. Amy doesn't seem to care about that, a fact which makes me smile. Hey, you came. Aw, this is a new sprite, isn't it? Is it? It might be. I can't tell. I mean, I figured you would, but still. I suddenly found myself wrapped in a rather affectionate hug, and it proves to be impossible for me to keep what must be the world's largest grin off of my face. Well, of course I came. I'd be crazy not to, right? Amy ponders for a moment. You know, that's true. I mean, I'm pretty amazing after all. I shrug in response. I certainly think so. It's not a fan remark, which is why I'm surprised to see that it seems to have caught Amy by surprise. She blushes and smiles warmly at me before planting a kiss on my lip. Wow, okay. Now it's my turn to be surprised. Amy steps back, resting her weight on her back heel, looking pleased with herself. My brain fumbles for an appropriate response. I should compliment you more often. Amy laughs and gives me a playful shove. Jerk. I throw an arm around Amy's shoulder, and I'm pleased when she immediately leans into me as if it were the most natural thing in the world. So, where to? I'm not actually sure. Where do people go on dates around here anyway? That's a damned good question. I've got no idea. Why don't we just head down to Oromart and grab something portable? Amy's face brightens at this idea. A picnic. I think you're onto something, Hisao. Uh-oh, what? Amy snakes her arm around my waist, and we begin to head for the front gate. I'm entirely unsure of what I'm meant to do in this situation, but at least Amy seems to be equally clueless. What the hell is going on with this light? Sorry, you know the reason I started so late was because the power was out until like 4. I know 4 is when I usually start, but I rescheduled it to 4:30 just in case. I'm entirely unsure. I'm assuming that's just a problem with this light specifically, not... I'll turn on the backup light. I've got 2 lights over here for some reason. Don't worry. Don't you guys worry. I'm entirely unsure of what I'm meant to do in this situation, but at least Amy seems to be equally clueless. Despite the relaxing feeling of being with Amy, I still can't help feeling a little tense. What if I do something wrong? I hate to make an ass out of myself. The trip to Oromart is accompanied by Amy's chatter about how practice went. I keep quiet for the most part, merely enjoying the warmth of being around Amy. We get a few odd looks from passerbys, but I don't mind. We wind up buying some bread and instant noodles, realizing too late that we cannot actually cook the latter in the park. Oh well, I guess I'll make it for lunch or something. Aww. This is adorable. That'll work. The park is located after a brief loss of direction that I blame entirely on Amy. She, of course, blames me. We find a spot beneath a tree and sit down. I lean back against the trunk. Amy sits across from me. I guess we should have brought a blanket or something to sit on, huh? Amy shrugs. I don't mind. Neither do I. Amy tosses me a package of bread and we dig in. Curry bread, interesting. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to what I grabbed from the store. Come on, Hisao. Hey, Hisao, you look like your bread's a little spicy. I shake my head, trying to keep in vain to keep an image of manliness. Nah, it's hardly spicy at all. I see. That must be why your face has gotten so red. Yes, exactly. The lack of spice has, gotten my blood up. Because of the disappointment. Amy laughs and swallows the last of her bread. Well, if you can't handle it, I'll be glad to take it off of your hands. Hey, just because you wolfed down yours so quickly doesn't mean I'm gonna give you mine. Hisao, you should really check what you buy. Amy mock pouts. Oh, that's adorable. Causing me to nearly choke on my bread with laughter. Aw, oh, come on, Hisao. That is a new sprite. I love that. Aren't you supposed to be concerned with making I've got enough to eat now? We're dating, you know. Though, Amy looks troubled all of a sudden. I can't say I feel any different. What do you mean by that? What makes this a date? It's just what we would have done anyway, really. This should feel different before because when we had lunch we were friends and now we're a level above friends. You sound like Rin. Laughter escapes and Amy grins. Well, she might have put the thought into my mind. We've talked about that sort of thing before. Really? About me? Not really, just stuff, really. Damn it! Rin thinks a change of label from friend to girlfriend seems arbitrary most of the time. Like there's no difference between the two. I can think of at least one, you know. You don't tend to kiss your friends quite as much. Oh! For the second time today, Amy blushes slightly and giggles. I suppose you're right. Exactly. I'm always right about things like this. Amy rolls her eyes and chuckles. Goddamn, I freaking love the new sprites. Guess you're pretty smart, huh? I nod in agreement. Yep. Even Muto thinks so. He thinks I should go into some scientific study after graduation. Amy raises an eyebrow. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm thinking I actually might do just that. Really, the more I consider the idea, the more it appeals to me. I make a mental note to look into it a little more closely. So, what are you thinking of doing after graduation? Still planning on running? Amy shrugs, seeming almost a bit hesitant. I don't know. If I'm good enough and I can find a team, I guess. You mean you aren't sure? I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Really? Probably should, you know. Graduation isn't that far off. You know, the fact that I'm not absolutely traumatized and panicking over the fact that they're talking about graduation really tells me I've gotten old, haven't I? Amy fidgets a little nervously. Yeah, well, it's far enough, right? Oh, Amy. Oh, I wish I could still think like that. Oh. Besides, I've got other things to think about. There's a mischievous flash between Amy's eyes, and I suddenly find myself gloriously pinned against the tree. Like making sure this is a real date, right? I mean, if we don't kiss, then it's not a date at all, right? I suppose. Strawberries and curry. Not the best combination, but I don't think I mind. Amy sits back on my legs and grins again. There, science would approve, right? I have the oddest mental image of Muto nodding seriously and making a mark on some checklist. Oh, that would be hilarious. I can't help laughing at the idea. I'll admit this is the first time I've witnessed a kiss being met with laughter. Should I feel offended? Heh, no. I'm sure science approves. Amy beams at me and I find it increasingly difficult to keep my brain functioning properly. Oh, good. It is at this point I notice that Amy has stolen the remainder of my curry bread while I was otherwise occupied with images of teachers wielding clipboards. Hey! Amy tries to look innocent, but considering she's just crammed the last bits of my bread into her mouth, it does not appear to be working. God damn it, she's like a golden retriever. She's adorable. Furry couldn't resist. Thief! A shrug from my companion is all I get in response. You use your feminine wiles on me. I was that hungry anyway, but I still feel that a point needs to be made. I can only imagine, what's that guy? Kenji, all of a sudden. Amy seems confused by the phrase feminine wiles, but the understanding dawns on her features after a moment's thought. Wasn't anything of the sort. You were laughing. Feminine wiles don't involve laughing. I guess I can't argue with this. That doesn't change your thievery. What? Hey, maybe you would make a good pirate. Amy laughs at my injured tone and gives me a playful shove. Fine, you can have the instant noodles. Are you kidding? That stuff's terrible. If anything, you should definitely eat it as punishment. Another laugh from the girl sitting on my wow. You lucky lad. Both of which have fallen asleep by now. Worth. I twitch one leg to try waking it up, which is the unintended of unbalancing Amy, who falls to the side with a startled eep. Oh, we don't get the funny animation. Okay. Startled eep. Whoops, sorry about that. Leg fell asleep on me. Amy remains on the ground, giggling. I stand up shakingly, feeling the nerves in my leg return to normal. My eyes wander over the scenery before fixing on the figure of Amy, who has yet to get up. Hair is splayed out around her head, her arms spread wide, and laughter is bubbling through her mouth. Everything about Amy seems condensed into this one image. Her energy, her spirit, her childish giggling. The urge to lay down on the grass with her swiftly from the back of my mind to the rises swiftly from the back of the mind to the forefront of my thoughts. And indeed, I am convinced that I would love nothing more to do just that. Unfortunately, the sun is set, and it's probably time for us to get back to the dormitories. While Amy may be happy to stay out here all night, I don't think I have that ability. Besides, homework soon beckons. Oh, God. If there's one thing about no longer being in school, one good thing about no longer being in school is no more homework. Or exams. Homework and exams. Homework is usually pretty tedious. It wouldn't make sense to start thinking about things like university and slack off, would it? I extend a hand to Amy to help her up. Should probably get going. Amy makes a sour face. You're right. She grabs my proffered hand, and I pull her to her feet into a hug. This time, I'm the one who kisses her, unable to resist having Amy against me. Seems a shame to leave, you know. Yeah, it does. If we don't get back to school soon, we'll probably get into trouble. Amy pokes me in the ribs playfully. And you need to do your homework, I'm sure. Sadly, you're absolutely right. Throw my arms around her shoulder, and we make the trek back to school, accompanied by occasional bouts of laughter as our conversation jumps from subject to subject. Everything from running to school to the peculiar way that one of the cafeteria workers smells. All too soon, we find ourselves outside the girls' dormitory building. Well, I guess I'll be going then. Guess so, huh? Amy grins at me with that mischievous look. Are you gonna be able to survive without me? I laugh. I'm sure I'll manage. How terrible, aren't you supposed to say something like, I'll be counting the seconds you are away? Nah, I don't think so. Wow. Amy, I without reading the text, I knew what that was. Amy pulls me into a quick goodbye kiss and steps back, looking unexpectedly shy. Thanks for dinner. I really had fun. Honestly, I did. So did I. I think we shall have to do it again sometime. Amy laughs at my deadpan delivery and nods. See you bright and early tomorrow, right? Gotta run off that bread after all. Of course, despite the fact that you ate most of it. Yes, despite that. See you later, Hisao. As Amy turns to head inside, I notice something weird. Something so weird that I'm surprised I didn't notice it earlier. She's limping slightly, favoring the left Oh. Hey, Amy. Is your leg okay? Amy looks confused, or at least fakes confusion. What are you talking about? Your right leg, you're limping. There's a briefest flash of concern on Amy's face. Either she didn't want me to know, or she didn't think I'd notice. Or, I prefer to think she just didn't realize it. Oh, that. She shrugs casually. Must have gotten knocked a little out of alignment during the picnic. No idea what would have caused that, of course. I think back to being pinned under the tree. Ah. You should have told me. We could have stopped and fixed it, you know? Amy waves a hand airily. No, it's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it, okay, Hisao? It's fine. Why do I get the feeling she's convincing herself? What do I do, lads? What do I do? Oh. What do I do? Press Amy or... Why do I get the feeling she's convincing herself as well as me? What do I do? What do I do? Oh. Man. Choices, choices, choices. Are you absolutely sure? You don't want to go adjusted before heading up the stairs. You get hurt if you don't, right? Said it was fine, Hisao. Seriously, don't worry about it. Got some experience in these matters, after all. Yeah, I suppose so. Amy grins reassuringly. Honestly, Hisao, I appreciate the concern, but I really am okay. Really, I need to get going. Your attempts to keep me around are doomed to fail. Heh, of course. She's prolonging the goodbye, I suppose. Another grin lights up Amy's face. Was that the wrong choice? God damn it. Good night, Hisao. Good night. She limps inside. I find myself hoping she's okay despite her assurances that she's fine. I think I could call this a successful first date. Hell, any day that ends with Amy pinning me under a tree to kiss me can't be that bad. Can't be bad, can it? I head back to my room, mentally thanking the gods that Kenji doesn't ambush me in the hallway and get started on my homework. Okay, so this just represents him falling asleep, not so much the next day. Got it. Well, it doesn't seem too consistent, actually. The morning is far too early for my taste. Doesn't help that I had trouble sleeping last night. There's simply too many things to think about. My mind refused to slow down. Instead, I replayed the rooftop, the park, and everything else over and over in my mind. There's a small part of my mind that is still paranoid that this has all been some kind of joke. And I'll meet up with Amy at the track and she'll act like nothing happened yesterday. Pushing these thoughts to the back of my mind, I throw my running clothes and open the door. Amy's waiting for me with her usual smile. You're late. Or at least, you're not early today. Are you tired or something? Aw. Find myself ruefully rubbing the back of my head. Something like that, yeah. Lots to think about it and all that. Amy giggles at my mild understatement. Yeah, I didn't sleep that well either. I was actually glad you weren't early, because I wasn't early either. I wonder if the same thing kept us awake. The image of her weeping face passes through my mind. What kept you up? Amy's expression falters, but she notices my curiosity and forces a smile. Nothing important. She's obviously not telling me something. The question is, should I press the issue? Something's clearly been bothering her for a while. I wanted to help her, but would it just come off as me being nosy? She's got to know I care about her, though. Are you sure? Something's bothering you. I'm here to help you sort it out. Amy laughs, but then it's not her usual laugh. There's an edge to it that seems almost bitter. Sort it out? I'm not sure if it can be sorted out, he saw. An almost grim smile crosses her lips. It's like a smile of resignation. Hold on, folks, just give me a... Alright, I am back. It's like a smile of resignation. I don't think you could help me anyway. That hurt. I don't want to say it hurts her, but I don't want to say that it hurts to her, but it does. Doesn't she realize I want to be there for her when things go wrong? Well, I won't push you on the matter, but I'm here for you if you decide later that you'd like to talk about it. It might help. I can see the debate raging behind Amy's eyes. It seems she wants to tell me, but she's not sure whether or not she can. Hey, forget about it for now, okay? We've got running to do. The mention of running something that she can handle brings Amy back to her usual self. Right. Hurry up and stretch out, Hisao. You've got to get moving. She takes off like a shot, far quicker than I'm used to. Still, I try to keep pace with her, recklessly testing my limits. It gives me a feeling of freedom, like my heart is no longer important. I find myself wanting to laugh, filled with the feeling of moving beyond what I once called my boundaries. The nurse's warnings not to overdo things echo in my mind, and I disregard them. This feeling I have, this willingness to risk a heart attack for something so trivial as a morning run, feels out of character for me. But is it? Rather, should it be? I've got a weak heart, sure. It'll never be capable of the kind of speed and endurance Amy's capable of. I probably wouldn't be able to get that good news even if I had a healthy heart. As we round the final bend, I feel my legs screaming in protest, but the first time I ignore them. Man, if your legs... I've always had... When it came to running, it was always my chest. I don't think I've ever actually had trouble with my legs before. Isao, you really gotta get into shape, man. I accelerate to finish at a sprint, nearly catching up to Amy. That was never going to happen, of course. Still, I feel surprisingly good. Oh, sure, my legs feel like they're about to catch fire and I have trouble staying upright. But there's a shift of some sort today. And it's all thanks to the girl grinning at the finish line, waiting for me. I felt a little faster than usual. My comment is met with a grin and a shrug. Can't have you think I was gonna go soft on you now, can I? But you managed to handle it just fine. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Still feeling the high from the run and moved by the surge of gratitude, I seize Amy in a shrug. Thanks. Really, I'm not just saying that. I'm in your debt. Amy seems flustered by my words, squirming uncomfortably. Don't be silly, Hisao. Someone had to haul you out here, didn't they? And it's not like you're not doing anything for me, right? I needed a running partner, remember? I shake my head, still pointedly not letting go of Amy, who stops squirming and merely looks up at me with a quickly deepening blush that almost seems out of character. No, that's not true. You wanted a running partner, but you didn't need one. If I hadn't shown up the day after the festival, you would still run, right? But it doesn't work the other way around. I only managed to make it out a few times before the festival. And with that shit, I probably wouldn't have made it out at all after that. Amy smiles at me and prods my chest with one finger. You are pretty lazy, Hisao. Hey, I was giving you a compliment. Well, you're welcome, I guess. I'll pay you back somehow. Oh, well, it's not necessary, you know. I mean, I kinda like you, Hisao. And being able to run me through mornings isn't exactly a bad deal for me either, so... For someone who gets so much praise, she seems unused to gratitude. I can't think of anything else to say, so we fall silent. I become aware of Amy's breathing, of the dampness of her clothing, and of the scent of her. Coming off of anyone else, it would stink. Coming off of Amy fits her in a way that nothing else could. Her skin is cool, slick with sweat, and a breeze causes goosebumps to rise. Haha, Hisao. Alright, bucko. Almost without thinking about it, I lean down and meet Amy's mouth, which has already moved to meet my... Dang, really lovey-dovey. Man, this moved in really fast. Her lips are soft, and she hums happily as she kissed, sending vibrations from her mouth to mine. There's a startling rightness to everything about this moment. We fit one another perfectly. The kiss ends, and I finally let my arms drop back to her sides. Amy is smiling warmly at me and giggles again. Come on, Hisao, we better go see the nurse. Then it happens. She turns to begin walking. She gives out a tiny yelp and stumbles forward. Amy! I lean to study her and notice with some concern that she's favoring the same leg as last night. Your leg. Amy seems panicked and pushes away from me. It's fine. My expression must seem hurt because she hastens to apologize. Sorry. Didn't mean to push you like that. I was just... She stumbles for something to say. It's nothing really. Hey, don't worry about it. She's so flustered, I decide to shrug the whole thing off. But there's a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach that now won't go away. I try to step in and help her, and she pushed me away. Smiling, I shove those thoughts to the back of my mind and concentrate on Amy. I just don't want you getting hurt after, that's all. You don't have to worry about me, to be honest. I'm fine. Yes, you say that, but I don't believe you. Why don't you tell me what's wrong? It's like she gets offended by my trying to help. What am I supposed to make of that? I'm still trying to sort out what happened on the track as we arrive in front of the nurse's office. Amy raises her hand to knock, hesitates, and turns to me, smiling guiltily. Hey, can you do me a favor? Of course. Can you tell the nurse that I'll see him later? I just remembered I've got some stuff to take care of before class. So I really need to get moving. I peer closely and she fidgets under my stare. Yeah, she's clearly just avoiding the nurse. That leg of hers. Well, whatever. I said it'd help, so I will. But I'll make damn sure she sees the nurse before the day's out. Yeah, okay. I'll let him know. Amy looks like I've just given her a pony on Christmas. Thank you so much. You're the best, Hisao. I am rewarded for my complicity in her lie by a kiss that makes it all worth it, or so I tell myself. As Amy heads out of the building, trying hard not to let her limp show, I knock on the door of the office. Ah, Hisao, come on in. I don't see Amy with you. She's not sick again, is she? The tone of his voice, I don't expect the nurse is expecting me to say, yeah, she's ill. She said she's forgotten to do something, so she had to skip it out, but she'll see you later today. The nurse heaves an exasperated sigh. Honestly, that girl. She's been avoiding me. Yesterday she was in and out of here without taking off her prosthetics, and now this. Well, at least it's not just me Amy doesn't want worrying. That's a comfort, I guess. So I feel like I should say something about her leg. I said I'd lie for her, but she really needs to see him. Now that you mentioned, she was limping pretty badly today. Last night as well. The nurse's eyes narrow at the words last night. And what exactly were you two doing last night? You were on a date. The nurse raised his eyebrow as if surprised. Really? Interesting. Huh? Oh, nothing. His gaze turns thoughtful, then he grins at me. You don't think you could use some of that boyfriend charm to get her to come see me today, could you? Of course! I was planning on doing that anyway. I think she's really hurt and just pretending she isn't. Yes, she does that. Afraid I'll make her stop running. Will you? I don't like to, but if it's bad enough that she's limping, well... I guess I'll have to see what's wrong for myself before I make that call. I see. Amy, not a lot allowed to run. Perish the thought. I don't know how she'd be able to function without running. No wonder she's reluctant to admit anything's wrong. Well, I'll make sure she sees you. Good. And, oh, before I forget. He grins at me in what feels like a vaguely threatening manner. Don't forget that I know what medications you're on. You be careful around Amy, got it? Wow, he looks serious too. Got it. Don't hurt Amy, wouldn't dream of it. Rand! I'd hate for you to be late. Huh? Late, as in the late he saw Nakai. He frowns briefly, dissatisfied. It sounded better in my head. Well, at any rate, get out of here before you miss your first class. You got things to do, I'm sure. Shoo! As they leave, I notice the nurse pulling out his phone and dialing a number. Mako, your daughter's being a pain in the ass again. Better head back to my room, or I really will be late. Hey, wasn't he supposed to check my heart rate? Lunch bell sounds, and I bring myself out of the stupor I slipped into during the morning classes. My lack of sleep last night, coupled with the increased pace of this morning's run, has left me a little exhausted. Despite that, I find myself skipping up the stairs to get to the roof. There's a thrill of excitement now, in addition to the pleasure one gets from eating lunch with one's friends. True, both Amy and Rin are still my friends, but Amy has become more than that now. Rin is back on her usual spot on the roof, almost as if she'd never been absent. Feeling better, I take it. A raised eyebrow is my reward for speaking. Better than what? Better than you felt yesterday. Rin gives my question some serious thought. I'm not sure. I think I might have felt rather good for some of yesterday, but it's all fuzzy. Too much cold medicine? Well, I was asleep, and that is usually pretty good. But I can't remember what it feels like to be asleep because I'm not conscious for it. It's a real problem. Then again, if I knew how good it felt, I might not sleep anymore. But this way I keep trying, so that's how I can keep myself from being overtired. Goddamn, Rin, your thought process is so friggin' based. An eternal mystery to keep you sleeping at night. Maybe mystery is the wrong word. Intangibility might be the better way to describe it. I see. No, I don't see it all. I have no idea what she's talking about, but that's okay, since I rarely do. Do you remember what sleeping feels like? Like yesterday, do you remember what you felt like sleeping yesterday? Well, I actually didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday. Maybe that's because you remember subconsciously. Actually, I think I was worrying about Amy. Doesn't Amy worry enough about herself? I hadn't considered that, but it gives me pause. True, but would she ask for help if she needed it? Rin frowns and raises an eyebrow. Will I get a proper answer? Probably not. Is there something she should be asking for help with? Her leg, for starters. He seems to catch Rin's interest. Leg? It's hurt, but she won't see the nurse about it. I love that expression. Rin shakes her head in disapproval. You have to help her. You have to make her. Like she makes me go to class for her own good. Otherwise, she could lose her legs again, and that's just too weird. Losing things twice. Especially if you don't find them again to begin with. Unless prosthetics are the same as finding something. That's a different kind of lost, isn't it? I think so. I wonder. Wonder what? Amy seems to have snuck up on Rin and me, though Rin doesn't seem especially surprised, which itself is unsurprising, I suppose. Rin manages to sit herself upright quite expertly, throwing her upper body forward and using her momentum to right herself. Your leg, how's it feel? That earns me a bit of a frown and a bit of a glare. It's okay, I think. Not worth worrying about. Tell that to the nurse. It's quite insistent that you visit him, you know. Amy pouts like I've just told her that she's been grounded. He worries too much. It's not a big deal, just a little soreness. I try to resist rolling my eyes at exasperation. It's nothing you should no problem seeing him, right? Oh lordy, are you about to get our first couple fight? This isn't gonna be a problem, is it? Amy narrows her eyes suspiciously. Did he put you up to this? Well, maybe a little. That's not the point. I would have reminded you to see him anyway. It'd be terrible to see you hurt and not do anything about it. That would make it worse. I really don't want to see you hurt, you know. Call me crazy, but I kind of would prefer you see you happy and healthy. With that statement, Amy's frown fades a little more, until eventually she's grinning, albeit a little shyly. Well, if you're gonna put it that way, I guess I have to see him. Otherwise, you'll keep worrying, and then I'll never hear the end of it, right? That's right, I'll keep bugging you about it, and that might put a damper on our dates. How's the food, Hisao? Tell that to the nurse, Amy. How was your day, Hisao? Tell that to the nurse, Amy. Hisao, I think I'm ready to go all the way. Talk to the nurse, Amy. See, it doesn't work that well. Amy giggles at my high pitch. Oh god, was she? Oh god damn! It would be so nice if this was voice acted. Really. Isa, I think I'm ready to go all the way. Talk to the nurse, Amy. Say it doesn't work all that well. Amy giggles at my high-pitched rendition of her own voice and gives me an affectionate shove. My voice isn't that high, jerk. I thought it was pretty. Bro, those eyes. Oh, that's another new sprite. Amy has the best sprites in the game. I freaking swear. Or well, to be fair, that's partially because I haven't been to the other girls' routes, but Amy has godly sprites. Rin, thank you, Rin, thank you. Oh, that face is hilarious. I love that so freaking much. I thought it was pretty accurate. Amy and I share Rin before I burst into laughter. Amy crosses her arms and huffs, mock offended. I love this so freaking much. That is hilarious. That is actually hilarious. You're both jerks. Such vile calumnies from you, young woman. I'm stunned that you would call me, of all people, a jerk. Honestly, I just don't know what to think. Amy sticks her tongue out at me. You ass. So, Ren, how's the art club these days? Ren, seemingly surprised at this sudden change of topic as I am, takes a minute to think before answering. I believe it is okay. Although Nomiya keeps telling me to work hard. Nomiya? Is that a person I'm gonna meet in the Rin route? But I don't think he understands my methods. He always struck me as slightly creepy. Ben ponders his statement for a while. I've never really noticed. But I don't pay much attention to him most these days, so maybe that's why. How often do you meet? Thinking of joining, Hisao. What? Nah, I've already decided to join a club. Really? Which one? Well, it's not really much of a club, to be honest. Oh, you joined the tea club. No, I joined the science club, I think. Amy looks highly confused. You have a science club? We do now. Or not really, it's just me. Hisao, that's not a club. That's sitting in your room reading books. No, I mean, it's just me and Muto. I'm the only student so far. Muto, really? A thought strikes her. Oh, is that what you were talking about yesterday? You're meeting with Muto? Yeah, that was our first meeting, I guess. Amy giggles. Nerd. I can't help being clever. You know, I could have used your help years ago. You should have had your heart attack earlier in life, Hisao. Alexa, quiet. Oh my god. I don't even use that thing. Gotta, like, give it to someone else one of these days. I laughed and then realized it's just one of those rare times I've laughed about my heart attack. Hindsight? Yeah. The ringing of her bell ends our conversation. Guess we'd better go. Yeah, I guess so. Come on, Rin, you too. Rin has apparently begun to doze off, so Amy gives her a sharp bump. I almost had it. Sorry, but you need to go to class. I disagree, but maybe if I had a nap in class, I'll get it this time. Changing locations is sometimes helpful for that kind of thing. God, Rin is actually so based. Neither Amy or I bother asking what it is. I don't know, an artistic vision of some kind. As we arrive at my classroom, Amy gives me a quick kiss, in public again, dang, and heads down the hallway, Rin in tow. I turn to enter the classroom to be met by the duo of Shizuna and Misha. Hey, I haven't seen you two in a while. Well, I haven't seen Shizuna in a while, technically. Misha seems to be fighting a losing battle to keep from breaking into a fit of giggles while she translates Shizune's latest rant. While we are pleased, nay, thrilled to see how you've made new friends and forged relationships, and we're such a cutie too, He-chan. I think that last part was probably Misha. Nevertheless, feel compelled, politely remind you that public displays of affection are strictly forbidden. Really? That's disappointing, Shi-chan. By Section 8 of the Code of Conduct laid out in the student handbook. Wow, really? In this case, however, ignorance of the law may be your excuse, as we are feeling lenient. And the paper will require to punish you. The both of you would only add to the already mountainous volume of work which confronts us, the sole members of the student council, and besides, you two are adorable together. Therefore, consider this a formal warning, and please refrain from such displays in the future. At least when Shizune can see you, Hichan. The whole spiel is so patently ridiculous, I can't help but reply in the same pompous manner. Well, I, for one, feel enlightened. I apologize profusely for my rash actions and will strive to contain my baser impulses, which I fear impelled me towards such inappropriate displays of public affection. Goddamn, Hisao, I'm gonna say it up in front. But there are some times when I'm really glad this protagonist actually has some personality. Am I the only person that feels like protagonists with personality? Like, I actually have easier time relating to a protagonist with personality. Because if a protagonist doesn't have personality, sure, you could say, oh, it's because it's making it easier to project onto. But if there's nothing to project, if they're just a sheet of glass, what is there to project onto in the first place? Better to be slightly less civil, because the lack of a personality in itself is a personality. I just remembered that my Ohoge bounces when I do this. What's the video quality like for you guys? If the video quality is not good, I realize none of you, like, it's gonna be... Well, what I know is it's probably not as good as what I'm seeing on my end. It is hardly my wish to burden such an overworked student council with such petty matters, and I will do my best to make your lives easier in this manner in the future, at least when Shizune's watching. This last line is delivered as a wink to Misha, who finally loses control of her manner. Wahaha! Well said, Hichan. Chuckling a little at myself, we enter the classroom. Class is uneventful, and after the final bell rings, I find myself alone with Muto again. So it looks like we've assembled for the second meeting of the science club. Where's the first? Do you think we should count yesterday as a meeting? Well, we did form the club yesterday, didn't we? Seems like club business, so we can safely call yesterday a meeting. Muto smiles in his usual stilted and awkward way. I wonder if the muscles in his face are just not shaped correctly to let him smile naturally. Wow, okay, buddy. You do have a knack for this, I think. Logical thought processes, that is. I guess so. The scientist speaks with authority, he saw. The answer is, here is, yes, I do. When the world wants to know how it works, we tell it, even if all we've got is a decent hypothesis. But we must sound certain anyway, because we're authorities on the subject, right? Hell yeah. He chuckles to go along with this awkward smile at his awkward joke. I'm doing my best not to grimace, but I don't think I'm being too successful. That's entirely false, of course. We know a lot, but nobody's an expert on how the world works. If only nobody can be sure. With no certainty, there are no experts. Well, I'd say scientists are the closest thing there is. We like to pretend sometimes. Some things we can be certain of, right? Yes, but no. You know gravity's there, for example. Well, how do you know that, actually? We were talking about, this actually came up in, yesterday's stream. The brain in a jar hypothesis. See? Still there. It's good to check every once in a while. Is the ground hard? That pencil might be broken. Like, you know how, like, you break a pencil, right? If you, like, press down too hard? But here's the thing. If you take a pencil, and I realize I'm holding a pencil in the air, I'm not going to drop it. Because it doesn't matter, because I can't illustrate. Even if you drop it, God, I'm, like, holding the pencil up in the air and, like, to the camera. But you guys can't see it, because I'm in a VTuber. Man, like, normally using a VTuber avatar is great. Because you could, you know... There's a lot of things you could do with it, but there are occasionally very rare cases where it's more of a burden. Like this one. If you drop it, the internal graphite might snap, which might make the pencil more prone to breaking. Hold on, I just want to see. This pencil has an interesting design. Almost makes me feel a little bad about using it. This is a Japanese pencil. This is a Korean one. Let me see. This is a regular-ass American 2B soft set pencil. 2B. Whenever I say 2B, I immediately have a Pavlovian reaction and get immediately horny because I think of 2B from Nier Automata. I don't think you guys need to know that, but I'm just saying. See, he's still there, but it's good to check every once in a while. That's why you'll see researchers mucking around with gravity. We're pretty sure we know how it works, but there's always a chance something isn't how we think it is. So you check, and check, and check. That's science in a nutshell, he saw. The whole town, I've listened, feeling rather spellbound. Muto seems to be really passionate about this stuff, I think. It's hard to tell sometimes. How the world works, how humans work, how the universe works. All these questions to be answered. And depending what I get into, I can even figure out a way to fix my heart. That said, I don't think that's a real priority for me. Besides, we did start discussing the book he gave me yesterday. I find myself more and more interested in that than my heart condition. Before I even realized that an hour's gone by. Well, let's call this meeting over for now, okay? We'll have another meeting tomorrow or the day after. Is it possible to join multiple clubs in like a East Japanese school? I assume East schools in East Asia are all like this, actually. Cause man, if I was a student, I'd. Then again, I remember what I was like during high school, so I'm like, would I really? Because there's in theory and then there's in practice. Do you guys get what I'm saying? He considers this for a moment. Call it the day after. I've got a lot of grading to do. Okay, see you then. As I exit the classroom, I realize that I don't really have anything to do tonight. Amy and I didn't make plans, so I guess I'll go to the library. Beats doing homework in my room anyway. The library always seems cooler than the rest of the building, probably to keep the books from getting damaged by the excessive heat and humidity. Books are sturdy objects, but if you want to keep them in good condition, it takes a little effort. I've got several books that are so well worn, the pages are barely clinging to the spine. It seems impossible for them to still be usable, but if you handle them with care. I make my way to my main desk where I spot Yuko busying herself with something or another. She smiles at me as I enter and waves. Hello, Hisao. Good to see you again. What were you looking for this time? Nothing in particular, I guess. Guess I didn't feel like going back to my room is all. Yuko nods. Well, if you're not occupied, could you maybe help me look for something? Sure, what do you need? Yuko brings a finger to her lips and looks around furtively. She seems to be looking for eavesdroppers. Come closer. Takes a few hesitant steps forward, while feeling distinctly unnerved. Yuko lowers her voice to a confidential whisper. I'm on the trail of a Yamako cat burglar. The what? Shh! The walls have ears, Hisao! Or they might. But listen, those missing books, remember them? Oh my god, it's Kenji. Yeah? Oh, they weren't missing, they were stolen! I'm convinced of it. I remember you saying something of the sort earlier, but how do you know? Yuko leans in closer and, if possible, whispers even lower. Because I found one of his hiding places. You did what? Yuko looks triumphant. Found one of his stashes. It was under the stairwells in the boys' dorms. 3 books I've been looking for, all there. I suspected a thief before, but this proves it. So did you take back the books? Yuko looks as if just suggested she walk around naked. Are you nuts? He can't know I'm onto him. He might go to ground and evade capture. Why do I have a feeling you're as prone to conspiracies as Kenji? Though to be fair, you're a lot less unhinged than him. So what do you need my help with then? Yuko casts another glance around the library and leans in closer. You've got to spy for me. Spy? Yeah, like when you're in the dorms, you know. Keep an eye out for suspicious activity. What constitutes Kenji? Suspicious I mean, Kenji's a pretty suspicious dude, but I wager he barely goes to class, much less seeks to the library to pilfer books. Do you think you literally... So what's the harm in saying yes? At least it'll get me out of this weird conversation. Yeah, I came to do that. I can do that, no problem. Yuko straightens up and claps excitedly. Great! Now hurry up and talk about something else in case someone comes in. How's the school treating you? Pretty well, actually. I've been running the mornings with Amy Imbarazaki, right? Yeah. How'd you know? I served you two in the tea house, remember? I deduced that if you're going to run with anyone, it would probably be with her. She looks pleased with herself. Impressive. Anyway, yeah, we've been running in the mornings. And, we kind of started dating. Yuko claps her hands together excitedly. Really, that's great. I bet you two are great together. I love seeing people find another like that, you know? I even thought to myself, when you walked into the Shanghai that one time, I wonder if that kid will wind up with one of those girls. Really? Yuko doesn't seem to notice my somewhat weirded out term and nods affirmatively. Yep, I could tell you wind up with one of them, you know? I've got an eye for that sort of thing. Of course, her expression droops slightly. I'm not good at it myself. Aw. Same reaction. Aw, I'm sure that's not true. Oh, it's true. I met this guy once, and we got along really great, but it turns out he was younger than me. And that's kind of weird, but not terribly so. It was really weird that he disappeared one day, and I've not seen him since then. Huh, that does seem kind of odd. Doesn't it? I hope it wasn't something I did. I feel compelled to reassure her. I'm sure it wasn't. I intend to try and calm her down further, but both of us jump in surprise at the ringing suddenly coming from my pocket. Yuko sighs to steady herself as I pull the phone from my pocket. I feel a little sheepish for indirectly causing the incident. Amy, what's up? Oh, thank God, I haven't called your phone before, so I didn't know if this number would work or whether you would pick up, and I can't... Whoa there, Amy, slow down. What's wrong? There's a pause on the other side of the line, during which I could hear Amy trying to control her breathing in order to calm down. Something's got her terribly agitated, and it's starting to agitate me. Can you stop by? Like, now or shortly after now? I really need to talk to you. The tone of pleading in the last sentence, I don't think I've ever heard from her. Of course, I'll be right there. Hold steady, okay? In increasingly agitated state, I've apparently started saying things that don't make quite sense. What? That makes sense? Okay, I'll be okay. See you soon. I press the button to end the call before slipping the phone back into my pocket, apologizing to Yuko before running off, and then run off. Perhaps at some point I would have stopped to think about the time or how suspicious it looks for a guy to enter a girl's dorm at this hour. Except right now I'm just getting to Amy and finding out what's wrong and how I can help her. I knock on the door and agree with a subdued come in. Something is very wrong as I stare at the scene before me. Amy's there, yes, but she's in a wheelchair, and her legs are missing. I glance around the room and see them sitting in a corner, looking like they've been thrown there. Aww, she's so adorable. Hey, this is the same face as the one we saw on the date, right? Except she's in her uniform now. Amy responds to my entrance with a lopsided grin that is both pleased to see me and completely, utterly heartbroken. Hi, Hisao. She's so adorable. It looks like she's been crying, but if she was, she stopped now. I notice I'm a little out of breath, having taken the stairs 2 at a time in order to get here. I do that all the time. Heart doesn't seem to mind this strain, though. I file this happy fact away for later consideration. Like when I'm not staring at somewhat dumbstruck and my girlfriend in a wheelchair. Realizing I'm still not responding to her, grating my brain lurches into gear. Amy, what happened? Guess I should have listened to you, Hisao. My leg's got a nasty infection. I'm not allowed to run on it for at least a couple of weeks. She gives a bitter laugh that shouldn't be coming from her. I can't even walk on it. Could have used a crutch and kept one of my legs, but I didn't see the point. Why hop? You can't run on one leg. At least this way I could still, I don't know, roll fast or something. Yeah, that's good, right? My awkward attempt to look on the bright side seems appreciated, but not really effective. Amy shrugs again. It's just kind of a nuisance. I mean, we can't even meet up on the roof now, no wheelchair access. Yeah, that's not a big deal, right? I mean, we can still eat together, and that's the important thing. That lopsided grin again. It hurts to look at. I suppose so, yeah. But like I said, it's a nuisance. I mean, I haven't used a wheelchair in... She thinks for a minute. Maybe 7 years? Something like that anyway. A long time. I'm afraid I'm a bit out of practice. Well, unfortunately, it's only temporary, right? Amy nods. Oh yeah, of course. It's not like I've lost him permanently. But it's a pain in the ass all the same. I nod sympathetically. There's not much else I can do after all. What am I gonna say? I told you so? I mean, maybe now's not the best time. Although I did tell her to get that leg looked at. By the time I noticed it was too late anyway. Do you need help with anything? Can I help with anything? Amy shakes her head and there's a bit of a usual grin back. Now I can manage fine by myself. Although if you want to help me over to my bed, it would save me the trouble of rolling there myself. Ooh, I blush in spite of myself. Amy giggles. You're such a prude, Hisao. I'm not a prude. I just wouldn't want to take advantage of a young woman such as yourself. It's ungentlemanly. I wheel Amy's chair to her bed and easily scoop her up and deposit her there. She quickly sorts herself out and sits on the side. She's actually a little heavier than she looks. It would be rude of me to observe this aloud, of course. Well, human beings tend to weigh a bit. I don't know what else to say. Man, you're kind of heavy. Oh, of course you do. Amy hits me with a pillow. I love that cartoon smack. Ass. Just saying is all. Must be all that running. Not the mention of... God damn it, Hisao. The mention of running, Amy's grin falters slightly. Well, I guess I wouldn't have to worry about that for a bit, huh? Maybe I'll lose some weight. That's what you do to lose weight, right? Cease physical activity. I'm pretty sure that's what the nurse would recommend. Speaking of which, are you still going to be showing up in the mornings? I hate to run a Ah, shit. Amy's suddenly interjection, more of a disquieted muttering than anything too profane, causes me to look over in shock. She's leaning forward, trying to cover the fact that she's crying by covering her eyes with the hand. Of course, the subdued sobbing makes it pretty obvious that she's crying. Hey, I'm sorry. Forget I said anything, okay? I place a hand gingerly around her and pull her close. I can think of nothing else to say or do. How do you confront someone who's just lost their legs again? Amy wraps me in a hug and stays that way for a while. Sorry. Pretty bad at this whole comforting thing, I guess. Don't say that. I'm fine, really. Her voice is slightly muffled by her chest. I pat her head reassuringly. That's the spirit, right? We'll get through this fine, I know it. Besides, I'm here to help you, remember? Amy lifts her head and stares at me with tear-stained eyes. Can you really? She's grinning lopsidedly and something sparkles in her gaze. I can't tell if I'm being mocked or not. Of course, I mean, sure you're a bit heavy, but... My witty comment is suddenly caught up by the sudden press of Amy's lips on mine. I'm caught off guard and am rewarded by hitting my head on the wall behind her bed. Ow. Amy pulls back, trying to look concerned rather than she's about to laugh. Are you okay? Sorry. I rub my head ruefully and grin back at her. Caught me off guard there. You deserved it. Is that going to become a habit? Am I going to get lectured by Shizune and Misha more? At the mention of the duo, Amy giggles. Honestly, those two. If I didn't know her, I'd be utterly confused as to why she hangs around someone so bossy. Which one are we talking about? You know exactly one he saw. Misha's hardly bossy. So what's the reason then? Huh? The reason why Misha hangs around Shizune? Amy waves my question off with a smile. No idea. I see. Anyway, you seem to be forgetting the original question, don't you? Oh yeah, I guess I am. You wouldn't mind giving a guy a little warning, would you? Otherwise, I'm liable to end up with a concussion. I emphasize the point by rubbing at the back of my head. Amy giggles madly. You could wear a helmet. Some kids here do, you know. Or I could just take revenge. I grab a pillow from beside me and whack Amy over. Wait, is this like a sprite I actually have seen before? Like, cause I thought lunchtime was the first time I saw that, but actually I might have seen this before. I just love this expression so much. I grab a pillow from beside me and whack Amy over the head. Aww. Amy topples off, and lands on the floor with a thump. Her arms promptly reappear on the bed, and she manages to pull herself back up. She realizes a surprising amount of strength in that little body. Her face is turned downward and away from mine, thinking I might have accidentally hurt her. Amy, you okay? You didn't hit your... Her hand shoots up and grabs my collar. She pulls me in with a sharp tug, her face now barely an inch away from mine, and she grins cheekily. Amy? She gives me a sharp headbutt, our foreheads making quite a loud thud. I sit back and rub my sore head as now Amy smirks victoriously. How's that for revenge? No fair! You can't take revenge for revenge! Yeah, exactly. Revenge is one thing. You can't take revenge for revenge. For someone missing most of her legs, Amy's surprisingly agile. I swipe at her, but she deftly rolls out of the way and lands a hit with her pillow. Of course the odds are against her. I can stand up for starters. Ooh! What? What? Melons? What does that mean? What? What just happened? What? 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 I'm gonna have to look that up. And speaking of which, you know, I started the stream far later than I usually do. I also know that there are not suitable for work scenes, let's just say, in this game, but they might be removed in the Steam version. So I'm gonna have to go with this and play this on my like. I think there might be a setting that allows me to enable it. So I will have to play this game on my own just to see those scenes. Fuck you, you guys aren't seeing them. I wonder if that's what that was. Anyways, I'm gonna I think that's a place to end it off. That is a place to end it off. Okay, so what did we learn today? Is that Amy is cute. Yes, I started much later than usual, so due to the blackout. So I suppose this is not a terrible place to end off on. And we got that. Okay. I hope you all liked that, folks. That's a wrap for today. What else? Yeah, I like that. I like this a lot. I probably am going the Hanako route next. I don't know how much longer that's going to be afterwards, but it's probably going to be a bit of time. Yes, Amy route. She's like the most iconic girl in this game, so I'm actually pretty happy. I'm playing this game blind, by the way. I know nothing. I'm not even taking a spoiler-free guide, which is what my friend said to get onto the Hanako route. Speaking of which, I haven't seen much of her on this route. Anyways, if y'all enjoyed this video, folks, please leave a like, a subscribe, and comment if you haven't done so already, and make sure to smash that bell. And yeah. The sky's up, and you guys are awesome. I'll see you all in the next episode.